Hello everyone, welcome back to another Tops episode. So I did a poll some time ago about which top should I do next after the like and dislike of Gen 7 video. I was actually prepared to do the Smash Ultimate music. However, the results ended up being Fire Emblem Waifus. Should have prepared for that sooner. Oh well. Anyway, I did it. I looked all around the Fire Emblem series for potential waifus, well, except from the obvious few, and I ended up getting 90 characters. So 90 girls were of the initial batch for the Fire Emblem waifus list. I had to somehow boil it down to 10. It took a while and took a whole lot of Monday November 4th to do this. But I finally got it from 23-ish to 10. And even then, I still have to do some honorable mentions, and even then, I still have to do some ties. You'll know why the ties are ties this time. There's actually a specific reason why they're all ties. Well, not armor ties, just a few. So anyway, before I get to the list, I have to tell you some honorable mentions, because if I don't tell it, then it'll be kind of weird. Alright, so here's honorable mention number 1. Flora. Now, this is my Fire Emblem Revelation waifu, and I was going to put her on the list proper. However, another Fates unit has taken her slot, essentially, mostly because of heroes. You'll know who it is soon. But as I looked back on this list and looked at Flora, I realized that, just other than her being an ice girl, and I just like ice girls in general, she's not exactly that interesting of a character. And honestly, if I haven't played Fates, I probably would not have put Flora on the list, now that I really think about it. Then again, I wouldn't have put the character she replaced on that list either. But it's actually kind of a... I had to put it on the honorable mention because she isn't on the list proper, but she would be if I expanded the list from 10 to 15. The other honorable mention is... Athlon. Now, when Athlon came out on Fire Emblem Heroes as a free unit, that'd be kind of cool. I got another staff cav for a staff cav team. Granted, the staff cav team didn't work out so well. But, hey, I actually did some stuff, with some skills for Athlon. And then, for this list, I was thinking, you know what? I liked Athlon. Let's see how she is as a character. And, holy crap, I actually was initially not wanting to put Athlon on this list. She was actually on the initial 90, but when she was at the upper 23, she wasn't in there. So, actually ended up putting her in that list, in that secondary batch, because how good of a character she ended up being. I actually do like her, being super kind, and I still like how she is still, wants to take care of Altena, who, by the way, is a good waifu on her own merit, but isn't on this list. But, yeah, all terrible stuff happened to her, all the terrible stuff happened to Sigurd, her brother, all the terrible stuff happened to Quan, her husband, all the terrible stuff happened in Genealogy Book, Part 1. But, hey, Athlon would have been a great waifu. Heck, she's already someone's good waifu. She's already Quan's waifu. And I didn't put her on the list because I was considering not putting characters who are already married. But I had to put Athlon anyway because of how good a wife she is. So, Athlon, despite everything, you are a good waifu. And good thing, Quan got a good waifu. So, hats off to you, Athlon. And try not to die another fire, please. Or die another however it is you died. Yeah. Anyway, some other characters... some really good waifus, by the way, are not on the list, but I also like to mention very briefly. Marla from Echoes, I like her appearance, but she's kind of a non-character. Lucia from Path of Radiance, she looked kind of cool in Swordmaster, but So from what I've read, she's more of a car-like kind of character where she looks cool but acts suckish. Vika from Radiant Dawn, because I like her. Again, I like her appearance. You know, however, you know, the whole Raven thing. I don't know how to feel about that. Plus, another Laguz unit on this list, sort of. Aversa from Awakening, so close to being on this list. But other characters, I like other characters more. Mercedes, oh my goodness, Mercy, you are almost on this list. But because I've not played Three Houses, you can't be on this list. I mean, granted, a character from Three Houses is on this list, but the thing is, like, her and Lysithia, actually, are the only characters I actually kind of gave a darn for, like, initially when I was looking for potential waifus for Three Houses. However, I kind of like Lysithia a bit more than Mercedes, but even then, Lysithia is not on this list. So that's saying quite a lot for the character who is there. And no, it's not Dorothea either. Dorothea's not even on this list, like, at all. Gunthra from Heroes, again, almost on this list. Again, another Heroes character on this list. You all know who it is if you watch the Fire Emblem Heroes videos. And then there's Shade from Cypher, who's the only character not from Heroes, not from the mainline series, in like that would have been on this list, because she looks kind of awesome. She looks great, but just isn't on this list because I don't know crud about Cypher, nor do I really want to. So I will have to judge her entirely by her appearance, and I don't know about you, but like some characters just can't just judge by appearance. For most of them I can, but not for the good ones. Anyway, now that we've gone down to that, let's go to the list proper. Now before I get to the list proper, just a little observations I found. This list was almost one per game. But there are a couple of characters from specific games I've played, Fates, that have more than one presentation. But again, just a little like interesting fact. And look at a few things. The first 3 slots on this list are from games I've not played yet, and the others I have. So having to play the game they're from actually helps with this list, which is a shame because there are a lot of potential genealogy, Three Houses, Thracia. Well, maybe not so much Thracia, but and Path of Radiance characters that would have been on this list proper had I played them. I mean, because I played through Path of Radiance, but I just never got interested in it. Now, list proper, go. Number 10, Manuela from Three Houses. Okay, so for me, you know when things get interesting when the recent game gets representation on the bottom of the list. And the only reason why she's on this list because, like, out of appearance-wise, she's the only one I actually gave a darn. Like, the most I gave a darn about. I mean, yes, if I play Three Houses, this list might change. If I play through Genealogy, this list might change. If I ever got the chance to continue with Path of Radiance, I just never got feel invested in it. But if I do, this list might change. Like specifically, the 10 slot will change. So the 10 slot currently filled by Manuela, which probably the character. If I get Three Houses, I'll have the first shot of waifu because I don't know. I just like her appearance and she's hot. She's hot. Okay, I don't care how old she is. She's hot. Okay. But this is like the wild card slot for whenever I play the next Fire Emblem game. Number 9, before I get to the character, right? Let's go start with the tie of this character, right? So, some people, even one person I know specifically, whenever we bring up that character, the character is just an instant hotness. For example, a friend of mine actually started playing Fire Emblem Heroes because that guy really wants to see this character. Nyla. Oh boy. Dude, she is super hot. And like, at least she's super hot with the eye, like, she looks exotic, with the eye patch, she's pretty tough. And yeah, I get it, like, she's a pretty hot lady. She's like the alpha pack queen of the Wolf Lagoons. She's super hot. I get it. But what if you do not, you like Nyla, you think she's hot, but you're not a furry. Well, here's an option for you. Malice from New Mystery of the Emblem. She is like Nyla, appearance-wise, she's like Nyla, except she ain't furry. So, it depends on what you want more. You want the Alpha Pack Queen, or do you want the sword-selling sellsword? And yes, she does. She's a mercenary who wants to sell weapons for a living. So, it's your choice, really. And for me, I would probably pick Malice a bit over Nyla. Entirely because, well, I don't classify myself as a furry, except when it comes to rabbit girls. And last time I checked, Nyla's not a rabbit girl, and the one rabbit girl in the entire series is nowhere near this list. So that's saying a lot about Fire Emblem, you know, waifu, furry waifus. Number 8 is a character that, you know, not every hot girl has to have like this crazy over-the-top outfit. That it doesn't need to be very sultry. Don't need to act like a waifu. Basically, see Loki from Heroes, except not that. If you know what I mean. You know, more conservative clothing and, you know, desire to help out people, but not trying to be your wife, essentially. Usually it's like a healer class who really wants to help out others, or is raised in an area that's quite not that good. You know, most people in this case will turn to Silk for this. So, and yes, Silk is a pretty good-looking girl. I get that. And that's why she's the only Valencia representative on this list. No, seriously, she's like the only, like, aside from like Marla, she's the only character from Valencia that actually would give a darn when it comes to being a waifu. And yes, Sonya does not count. Sonya's not on this list. But even still, even though she is like the one Valencia representative, she's nowhere near the character I would like. How about a character that's hotter than Silk? So, you know who Saffy is? Saffy is the one Thracia representative on this list. She's like the main healer of Thracia. She's like Silk, except she's hot. There you go. Like, she wants to help other people, even in situations where it's not very, you know, good. So, and last time I checked, Silk doesn't have green hair, and you know me and like waifus with green hair. Especially when we get to number 6 in this list. But, yeah, Saffy looks really good. She kind of reminds me of that one Tactics character, Meliadol. Except, you know, minus the swords. When it comes to, you know, appearances. I mean, I kind of like Meliadol. However, you know, Meliadol's not remotely an important character on Final Fantasy Tactics. But I kind of like Saffy. I just like the appearance of Saffy. Okay? Okay, even more than freaking Loki. That's saying quite a lot. Alright, next. Perry! So this is the character I was talking about with Flora, the character that I did not like initially, but I grew to love over time entirely because of Heroes. Because I think that the Heroes representation of Perry is like way better than what Fates did. Though for her, Fates is kind of a terrible story, so it doesn't really explain much. It doesn't have to actually do like Perry's Heroes voice more than her Fates voice. It does make sense with her, I guess. And I don't know why, it just makes me want to head pat her a lot. So I think Perry is a much better waifu in Heroes than it does in Fates. And also doesn't help that if you think that Perry is kind of, you know, very thin, remember that Perry actually has the same bust size as characters like Kagero. So, yeah, even though she hides it very well within her armor, yeah, she actually does have like a huge bust size. It's actually kind of surprising when you really think about it. So, and yes, Perry's crazy, but she just needs more love. I'm saying, like, Perry, if you look at her sport with with my boy Inigo, Laszlo, she does calm down, so she is capable of acting rationally eventually. You just need the right push for it. So, yeah, she's evil, but she's not like Kronia, where she's like near permanently evil. She just, needs some love. Alright. That's why Perry's on this list. Six, Cecilia! Okay, so Cecilia, she has the hotness. She's like the huge MILF mentor. Well, she's not really a MILF, but she looks like one, so that's what counts. Even though for her she sucks, story-wise, but I do like Cecilia. She's pretty hot, and especially in Heroes, like early on, I had Cecilia, and she's actually really helpful. And I remember in the Fire Emblem Hero subreddit where someone asked, like, if you had retainers, who would they be and why? I was probably the only one with a really good explanation for why I chose the ones I did. I chose Cecilia for one of them, specifically because, like, Cecilia's already a teacher, so if I would need to learn something, specifically when it comes to, like, maybe swords and magic, yes, Cecilia teaches swords, even though she doesn't use swords herself. But hey, if Roy taught swords out from Cecilia, she must know a thing or two about that. Or talk about healing. And so if I were to be the Fire Universe, I want Cecilia and Xander to be my retainers because they make sense as retainers and they actually, they work. They work. So I want to make it functional and not just, my favorite characters. So I remember saying that she has like the perfect blend of intelligence, appearance, kindness, and overall, I guess she's just helpful. And that's why Cecilia's on this list, because she is a waifu, but not, upper tier waifu. So I think this 6 is actually the perfect spot for her. She's like above Perry, so at least she's like sane, but she's nowhere near, the first 2 slots, if you know what I mean. You know who they are by now, but she's nowhere near those 2 slots. Five, Ursula! I tied because of Heroes, but ironically enough, even though my love for Ursula started from Heroes, it actually expanded when I started playing her main game. And me loving Ursula is kind of the reason why I started playing older Fire Emblems, so she has to be above the top 5, like by default. So Ursula in Heroes, it's more like a freaking her master. I forgot her name already. That's how important I think she is. In Blazing Blade. So in Heroes, she's more willing to betray you, but she still likes you. I guess being the operative phrase. But in Blazing Blade proper, she's the kind of girl who just wants to get things done, just get things over with. Just like, give me a thing to do and I'll do it. I don't care. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a former ally of mine. I don't care if it's Nino. I don't even like Nino. Nino's like, why is she? It's kind of annoying. But and plus, like the chapter where you beat her at, it's like kind of infamous for being really hard. But I'm just saying that I like Ursula, and even like when Summer Ursula came on Heroes, I feel like actually, that makes sense with Ursula as a character. Unlike regular Ursula, you end up being plus 10, which is like insane. Just saying right now, Ursula's the closest thing to a waifu in old Fire Emblem. Well, not that old Fire Emblem, like old Fire Emblem from GBA onward. Because, that one waifu that's on Shadow Dragon, yeah, good waifu. Number 4, okay, even though this one, probably shouldn't be here, but because I put her on the character I want to be like, if I were to become this character, I would. The thing is, even though Camilla is a character that I kind of relate to, I kind of get why she acts the way she is. I get it. It was why I would like to become sort of like her, but my little crazy thing with Corrin. But she's still a top waifu on her own right, regardless. I mean, granted, she's not like Ursula. She is like not subtle about it, but because she always wants Corrin to to sit on her lap, or comments about how people keep being attracted to Camilla. That gets really old, but at least it's slightly more subtle than Aversa and Loki in that one chapter where they're together. That's actually still pretty funny though. With that one chapter where they both talk about how hot each other are, that is hilarious. But Camilla would probably just say amateurs to both of them. You know that one amateurs meme? Like saying like, I'm hot, you're hot, no, I'm hot, and then Camilla's like, amateurs. Future me, if you want to do that, go ahead. You don't have to. I'm probably not going to. But she is still still like a hot waifu, as is. Even if she doesn't really intended to be such. That's what I'm saying. Also, before I continue with the 3 slots, if you see my Fire Emblem Heroes videos, this Camilla and the next 3 slots will probably seem familiar. Just saying. Time for 3. Leghorn! Okay, she's in here because, like, think Camilla, except, less, I guess less, what was the word I'm looking for? Less obvious of her intentions, if you know what I mean. Less sultry, less voluptuous, less like showing off how voluptuous you are. She still cares about her family, and by family I mean Levitane. And like, the interactions between Leghorn and Levitane are more wholesome than Camilla with anyone else. Just saying. That's what I like her. She's very wholesome when she needs to be. I like that. And also she's actually smart. And also she knows her way around the plan and enemy plan. She knows her way around. I guess her. I don't know, she looks good, okay? First of all, she looks cool, she acts cool, and like she's cool around the characters, okay? Even like her so-called enemies. Also, doesn't help that she's dark-skinned, which is like completely different from everything else. I don't know about you, the rest of you guys, but I like. Don't tell anyone else, but I do like dark-skinned girls a lot more than usual. Okay, okay. Doesn't help that I'm raised Dominican, so that actually is a big selling point. So yeah. She's a chocolate waifu. I love it. Okay, just saying she's a chocolate waifu and who could be wholesome and hot at the same time, but not trying to be hot, if you know what I mean. Okay, Discord, stop. Can you please stop? Anyway. But yeah, she's on this list for basically all the good reasons, really. Number 2, okay, number 2 and number 1, before I even get to the revealing who they are, I have made a video of my favorite video game waifus, like Tops 122 if I'm not mistaken, where I do tend to not decide really between the 2 Fire waifus on this list, and really it's really more the top 2 slots are more of a revolving door, and like whoever I say is number 2 or 1 is really depending on what time it is, what point does this revolving door end at. And for me, when I made that video, Cordelia was the slot taken for the video game waifu. However, because the door has revolved, Cordelia is now number 2 on this slot. Entirely because of Heroes, really. Where Heroes actually boosted the other Fire Emblem waifu everyone knows about to number 1 status. But for Cordelia, she's still a great Fire Emblem waifu, okay? First of all, even though, yes, her Heroes art sucks, but at least they're compensated by her other arts, which are drawn by Based Mayo. And I still use OG Cordelia in my main flower team, just not as often as the others, but I do use her, so she's still very useful. But she's very reliable. She's still a very smart character. She's still a very beautiful character. She still wants prom, sure, but she's still willing to settle for someone like Gaius. Just saying. And even though she can't be with Crom, she can still be with still in a lot of people's hearts. Also known as Chris. Also, I think Chris actually made me get Cordelia in the number 2 slot, not just heroes. Mostly because Chris really loves Cordelia so much. I'm just, you know what? I'm gonna let him have Cordelia. I'm gonna have my other favorite waifu. Show it right now. Actually, before I show it right now, before I get to the number 1, which you already know what it is, I was considering putting 2 other characters on this list, but I can't really put them in the list because, first of all, they're from genealogy, so I'm not very familiar with them. But they're only there because they look just like this character. I'm going to start with one of them right now. I'm going to start with Anand because I didn't know of her existence. I knew of the other one's existence before the other one, but I didn't know of her existence. I think she looks really good. Also, Anand is a silly name. It's like Anna, but ND? Why? Because I sound like Anand. It's a weird name. But she looks pretty cool. I like her design. And she looks very familiar. But she just, like, when it comes to, like, her, the number 1 on this list, and the other character I'm thinking about, she would kind of be a bit off to the side. Mostly because she actually dies. So it doesn't even help. Granted, the other one thinking about dies too, but... Okay, so yeah, just saying, Anand looks really cool. That's it. And the other card I'm thinking about is this. This is Airness from Genealogy. Now, I was going to put her in the list, I was going to not put her in this list. I wasn't sure whether or not I should or should not, because I don't like to put waifus that are already married. And even though she can choose her husband in Genealogy and Thracia, she's canonically married to Lewin, who looks really stupid, even though he's really dang powerful from what I've heard. Even in Heroes, he's pretty dang powerful. She's not as powerful as Ophelia, apparently. But I was looking at her. I was thinking, wait a minute, she looks familiar. She looks like a certain waifu. And from what I've read about Airness, she basically acts the same as the character I'm thinking about. She acts more or less the same as my number 1 waifu. And her appearance is almost exactly the same. Like, uncannily so. It's crazy. But partly because of old Fire Emblem wanting to more or less reuse some similar appearances, I guess. Because old Fire Emblem tends to do that. But, hey, if a character looks like a waifu, then she might as well be a waifu. Heck, she's someone's waifu, so that's all that matters. But speaking of said waifu, here comes the waifu. My girl Paola. Now, again, if I were to replay Shadow Dragon, she would be like in that team, instead of being on the sidelines. But she's my main in Heroes. She's like my main character in Heroes, so my teams revolve around. And I still remember having to waste so many orbs trying to pull for Bunny Paola. Holy crap! I made like a running gag out of it. But then, yes! 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 Okay, is she plus res minus something good? She's with attack! Oh! 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 Oh my goodness, and having to waste so many orbs. 170 orbs in the second session on that legendary banner, holy crud. And I actually got her. It's great. Can't wait to use her once I go back to Fire Emblem Heroes. We'll see like how I do with her. If not, I still have regular Paola, who is my favorite character. She's a great character. And she is waifu. She's entirely waifu. 100%. Even though she's like barely a character, but at least in Valencia, she gains something of a character. A bit more of a character. And like, games that she's bad at, games she's good at. It's really good. Paola's a really great character, okay? I'm just saying. Paola is a really great character. She doesn't have as much of a story as, let's say, Leg Yarn or Camilla, but she does have, traits that I like in a girl. Plus, it doesn't help that she's mostly in love with a guy who shares my name, who's married to her sister, who, from I heard from New Mystery, that she does leave him. So even though Paola's no longer cares for love, he's single again. Just saying. Anyway, that is all for my Fire Emblem waifus list. Okay, time for next tops. The tops I was thinking of that the poll will end up going for. Smash Ultimate Music. See you guys later.